community known for farming and fishing is calling for help, and an oil spill from a facility belonging to Shell has polluted parts of a river that people rely on for their livelihoods. Rice correspondent Tovia Teme George reports.
It was a two-way traffic as the natives of Otuokpoti head to the waterfront to fetch crude oil by the side of the river. Some stayed close to the river to fill their bottles, while others did the short walk upland to fill their drums. A leaking manifold belonging to Shell Petroleum Development Company had spilled crude oil into the immediate environment, polluting the river in Otuokpoti and Agbora communities in the process. The smell of crude oil was the scent of attraction to the women and children who spared little or no thought for the health implications.
When I dey inside my farm, before I go no, I don't see oil everywhere. My cassava, yam, everything, okra where I just go plant, I never reach anywhere. Don't go spoil and finish. All the fishing pot where I put, it don't finish. Waiting be this now. Waiting on I go do me. Waiting on I won't do me now. Now faint I do, I go faint for now.
Now all the fish self don't die finish. When I set myself, nothing they eat again. Me, I no get husband. No helper. Now this one be my husband. See as the oil don't make me carry her up.
In the meantime, Shell Petroleum Development Company has confirmed the leak from its facility. Media Relations Manager Bamidele Odugbeson said it was reported by a community surveillance vendor of the company's joint venture pipeline at the Nun River in Bayelsa State. Mr. Odugbeson, who said the facility was shut down on Wednesday, the 31st of March, added that a joint investigation team will determine the cause and impact of the spill. Ovieteme George, Arise News.
For more, we're being joined by Annkio Briggs, a Niger Delta activist and environmentalist. Ms. Annkio Briggs, great to have you on Newsnight today. Just want to find out very quickly, what are your thoughts when you see this level of devastation being caused by Shell again? And you've been on a number of cases that are similar to this.
Well, I mean, happy Easter, and thank you for having me on. Sadly, but the reality is this, that this is not strange to the Niger Delta people. This is not strange to the people whose farm is devastated, whose land, drinking water, health, and future is completely wrecked by Shell. And this is decades long. I mean, for over 20 years, I have been active in the activities of pointing out this sadness that our people have to endure for the sake of Nigeria. But we must point out that this is a joint venture between the oil companies, Shell particularly, between the federal government and the oil company. And this, what you're watching and showing on your screen, just shows the recklessness in which the government and Shell have reduced our people to since they found oil. And sadly, this is not strange. It's not strange at all. It is not strange. I'm even surprised to hear that Shell is admitted that it is a failure on their part. Mind you, most of these pipelines have been laid since the 50s, since 58, since they found oil. And so it means that the pipelines and their equipment that fail constantly is almost 50 to 60 years old in the land, and obviously the lives of the people of the Niger Delta.
Okay, now let me ask you, I mean, it's good you actually say that Shell has confirmed that indeed an oil spill happened, you know, from their lines. It also claims sabotage, that it reacted promptly, but there is a situation, a sabotage situation going on. What do you make of that?
it is comical, because if you notice, I was smiling when you said that, because quite honestly, there is no spill that Shell will not say that is associated to third party. So Shell, on the one hand, is the complainant. Shell, on the other hand, is also the judge and the jury of what has happened. Shell, their joint venture with the federal government and whatever association that they have, are always saying that they are not responsible. So the people you see now who are scooping this from their waterfront are out of pure ignorance, because we know the dangers that are involved in what the people are doing. Fire is a danger. The risk to their health through what they breathe in and through what they eat and what they drink. And so constantly the disregard to the lives of the Niger Delta people, the disregard for the communities of the people that actually own this oil that the federal government and Shell is exploiting and exploring, is just so sad. And we seem obviously to be helpless, because the politicians, the politics, the people really don't seem to understand that this is unacceptable anywhere else in the world, but in the Niger Delta.
Okay, now, Annkio, I'm just concerned that it is easy for everyone to use the Shell development company as the whipping boy in all this case. We have a South-South person as the Minister of State in the Ministry of Petroleum. And then we also know that there are several government agencies who are supposed to be in control and with funds to be able to help these people. None of them have done anything in the last few days since this incident happened. Aren't you worried that the federal government, who's a partner to Shell, has not really done anything to help the people?
Well, I mean, tell me about it. It is a fact that my brother is the Minister of State, as you quite rightly pointed out, to the Minister of Petroleum, that happens to be the President of Nigeria, and that this has happened in Bayelsa State, and that we actually do have a NEMA, the emergency agency of Nigeria, that is funded, I might add, by this very oil that devastates our land. In Nigeria. And then you see that anywhere there is crisis in Nigeria, you will see NEMA there, but you will never see NEMA when there is the oil spill crisis, because it is a crisis that my people and I have to endure. And yes, I do accept that there is questions to be answered by the governments of the Delta where these oil spills occur, and the federal government and the oil company. Let me state here that nobody is using Shell as a whipping boy. Shell is responsible, has been responsible for the suffering of the Niger Delta people, was responsible for the issues on Ogoni land and so many other places. So no, nobody is using Shell or anybody as a whipping boy. What I will say to them, which I've always said, is that, look, let's have a moratorium on oil and gas. Leave the oil, leave the gas in the land, in the waters, leave it for the people. We're not benefiting. I dare anybody to tell me that taking all my oil and giving me 13% and passing it through the government means that I have benefited. Right. No, I have not benefited. Leave the oil, leave the gas in the Niger Delta, and let's see how we will go economically.
Thank you very much, Annkio Briggs.